guys, welcome back. Today's video we are going to do skincare 101. So I'm just going to go over my day and nighttime skincare routine and some do's and don'ts and just go from there. I'm not an esthetician or a dermatologist, so these are just my opinions and this is what's been working for me. I do switch up my products a lot because I have a lot of free samples and things, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what I would use and the products that I am using right now. And if any are like staples, then I'll tell you those as well. One skincare 101 thing is you always want to apply your serums, moisturizers, toners, all that kind of stuff in order of thinnest to thickest. So you just gotta think, if you're putting a really heavy oil on and then you're putting almost like a really lightweight serum on over it, it's not going to absorb into your skin. So you're going to want to put your lightest weight products on first. They'll absorb into your skin faster, and then you're going to lock it in with that thicker moisturizer or just a moisturizer in general. So first we're going to start with my daytime routine, and I'll either wash my face with a cleanser, like a real cleanser. I only like to use this in the shower because I don't like getting water dripping down my hands and arms and all that. I hate that. So if I'm not, then I will use these First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance pads. And they are just like little toner pads. And this is what they look like. They have a little bit of a scrubby side, not much, it's just a little bit of a textured, and then the other side is just plain. And I'll use that for anytime I'm not wanting to clearly, you know, wash my face, like I only took a nap before work, or I've only been asleep for like 5 or 6 hours, so I don't want to completely strip my face again. I'll just use like one of these. And then if you're not going to use like a toner pad, you can also use like a real toner. This is just the Mary Kay Clear Proof Blemish Control Toner because this one has salicylic acid. This one does have alcohol in it, so it does have the salicylic acid in it, so that's drying as well. So I have kind of moved away from this because my skin is so dry, but if you have normal to combination or oily skin, then you'd probably really like this, but because it does work. But I just can't, I can't have anything that's stripping for my skin. So my second step, once I've kind of cleansed my skin, is I'll either use some type of essence or like a hyaluronic serum. So this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Water Essence. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'm just trying to use this one up, but I would either use some type of essence because this is very liquidy. As you can see, it's kind of like pretty much glorified water, but this is just gonna add a little bit of extra hydration into your, you know, face. They have a COSRX like Snail Mucin 96 one. That's really good. I tried that one before this. But I think I'm going to switch to, I have a hyaluronic acid. So what hyaluronic acid is basically holds 1,000 times its weight in water. So if you put that in, it's going to pull in moisture into your skin and add that moisture instead of, like it can take it from the environment, it can take it from your moisturizers and lock it into your skin. The only thing is you want to make sure that you, again, lock it in with a moisturizer. That way it doesn't, you know, kind of evaporate and be useless. So it really helps a lot in humid environments. Alabama, extremely humid. So it's really going to help draw that moisture in. So second step, essence. After you cleanse your face is some type of essence or hyaluronic acid serum type. Okay, and then I always use some type of anti-aging serum during the day as well as in the night. So the one that I'm using right now is the Ordinary, I think it's Argiline solution, 10%. I've pretty much used this one up. I've been using this for probably about 3 or 4 months at this point, and I haven't really seen a difference. It's supposed to help with really dramatic lines, like dynamic lines, like your forehead wrinkles or your smile lines, ones that are going to have really big folds. So now it does say to use it twice a day, and I only use it once a day, so I assumed it's going to, you know, take twice as long for it to really work. But I've still been using this for 3 or 4 months and I haven't seen a difference, so I wouldn't repurchase this one, but I would use some type of anti-aging, you know, cream or serum. And then you always want to use a vitamin C. So vitamin C is going to be really good as far as brightening, fading any old discoloration, you know, things like that. So this one we got in, I want to say like a Boxy Lux. This is the 111 Skin Vitamin C Brightening Booster, and that's just what I'm using right now. This thing, I think it's like $180. I would never spend that on a serum. But I really want to try, when I'm done with this one, I really want to try the Drunk Elephant C Firma Day Serum, something like that, because I hear that one's really good. So whenever I get done with this, I'm going to try that. And since vitamin C can make your skin a little bit more sensitive to light and to sunlight, you always want to do a sunscreen. So you just want to do a sunscreen in general because you only have one skin. You want to take care of it. You're not going to get another one. I think I got this in one of those Sephora sun kits. And this is the Bare Minerals Prep Step Broad Spectrum 50 Mineral Shield Daily Prep Lotion. And I am very sensitive to sunscreens. So I'm still looking for my perfect sunscreen because, and I don't know if it has a difference to do with mineral or chemical sunscreens, but anytime I've tried a sunscreen that's over SPF 35, I tend to break out. Now this one is not terrible. Since I usually work nights, I tend to not wear a sunscreen because it's nighttime. But if I am going out in the day, I will. So I don't use this on a consistent enough basis for it to see if I would break me out. But normally, if I do, before I started working nights, anything over 35 SPF breaks me out. So, but you're really supposed to use like 35 and up to really get the best bang for your buck as far as SPFs. Oh, and one side note about SPFs is they don't stack. So you can't do like a 35 SPF and then a 20 in your makeup and then expect that to be like 55. Your highest one is all it's gonna be. And you wanna do the higher SPFs because if you have a 20 SPF in your foundation, you may only be getting 10% or 10 SPF out of that. So you really wanna make sure that you're using a higher SPF, like a 50 or so. And then I always use an eye cream. So I'm still on the hunt for a perfect eye cream. I'm just got this free sample. This is the Clinique Pep Start eye cream. I like to use a brightening and depuffing eye cream during the day, and then I'll use a nourishing, anti-aging, fine line wrinkles one at night. I still have not found one that has all of them combined. Otherwise, I would use that night and day. But I'll show you the one that I'm using at nighttime. That one has a lot, but not quite all of it. So this is just what I'm using. I've literally only used it for like 3 days now, so I can't tell you if it's doing anything. Finally, the last step in my routine is a moisturizer. So this is just the Mary Kay hydrating one, the one for dry skin, and this is the one that you've seen in my project pan. As you can tell, I've been using it for a long time. I love this moisturizer. It's really good. I just have to have really, really hydrating moisturizers. I can't use any gel moisturizers because those are not hydrating enough. So I tend to use a little bit thicker, but I don't like them where they're so thick that you have to tug on your skin. So I will use one that is a creamy moisturizer but still goes on nice and smooth because I'm using a lot of products beforehand, so I can kind of stack up that moisturization before. So I like one that'll go on smooth so that my makeup goes on smooth. So that's it for the daytime. I know that's a lot, but so if you're running late and all you have to get really fast, you just want some type of cleansing your skin, whether it's an actual cleanser or a toning pad, whatever's gonna be easier. And then you wanna do some type of vitamin C. And then you can either do your sunscreen now or in your makeup, as long as it's a higher one, you know, in your makeup. Then your moisturizer. You have to have a moisturizer. Even if you just have 2 products, moisturizer is key. Okay, as far as nighttime, I am, like I said, very lazy. So if I am taking a night shower, then I will use like an actual cleanser. But most of the time, I'm just using a makeup wipe. The proper way, if you do have makeup on, is to use some type of, what they call it, a 2-step cleansing process. So you'll use a balm and then you'll use a cleanser to make sure that you get all of it. So, because you're going to use the balm to remove your makeup and the cleanser to actually cleanse your skin. Now, the very lazy version, which is what I do, is I will use some type of makeup wipe. So, I like the Neutrogena, the Simple Micellar Water ones are my favorite. And if you don't have any reaction to fragrances, then the Kirkland ones from Costco are really good as well. So I will use this to remove my makeup. And then I will use the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads to actually tone and cleanse my skin. So these are very easy just to go over, make sure that you're, you know, getting any residual makeup or whatnot out. So then for nighttime, my biggest thing is making sure you use some type of exfoliator, whether it is a physical or a chemical exfoliator. So in the shower, at least probably about once a week, I like to use a physical exfoliant. So I just have the Mary Kay, you know, step 1, and then they have like a step 2. But I like to use some type of physical exfoliant to make sure I get all those dead skin cells off. But you want to make sure you get one that's not too abrasive. That's why I like this one, because they're very fine particles. Or you can use chemical exfoliants. So I like to use chemical exfoliants every night. My favorite is the Drunk Elephant TLC Glycolic Framboos, whatever it's called. And I really didn't see a major result until I was on my 2nd bottle. So I know that they're expensive, but those were the ones that really kind of transformed my skin. But I wasn't sure if it was actually, if that was what was doing this to my skin or not. So I took a break from it, and I did notice some texture bumps coming back, especially, you know, on my forehead. You can see like these little bumps that they're not pimples, but they don't go away. I do have these free samples. This is the Sunday Riley Lactic Acid Good Genes treatment. And I have a couple samples of these. Now, AHAs are like your lactic acid, your glycolic acid, mandelic acid, and then your BHAs are like your salicylic acid. So, I like to use, I'm pretty good at, I felt like I've built up a good tolerance to them, and they don't really bother me. They never burn my skin or anything, but some of them dry my skin out a lot. So this, if you're just getting into chemical exfoliants, these First Aid Beauty ones are good. They're very gentle. They do have glycolic acid in them, and I think it has lactic acid in there. But if you want a little bit more, I think the Drunk Elephant one is a good introduction, because I can use that one every single night and it doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't dry out my skin. Now this Good Genes Lactic Acid, this one does dry out my skin. So I can only use this a couple times a week. And where some people can use this, you know, every day. So it just kind of depends. You gotta try to figure what is good for you, what your skin reacts to. A little bit cheaper option, I guess. If you don't want to incorporate a daily or a nightly AHA, BHA, you know, chemical exfoliant, you can do like a peel or a mask. So this one is the Mary Kay Time Wise Repair Revealing Radiance Facial Peel. And you just use this 2 times a week on non-consecutive, evenings. So a Monday and a Thursday or so. And this will be a little bit more abrasive. So it's not going to be as gentle that you can use every night. It's going to be a little bit more abrasive, but it does cause any AHA, BHAs, vitamin C's, all that. You do want to limit your sun exposure or put a sunscreen on over, because it does break down your skin. It's getting those dead skin cells off. It's making that new layer. So you want to use a AHA, BHA at nighttime, because that's when your skin is doing the most rejuvenation, I guess you would say. It's repairing itself. It's having more cell turnover. So your night creams and your peels and everything are going to work better. They're going to absorb better. So, long story short, I like the Drunk Elephant one. I'm trying out this lactic acid one right now, but we'll see. I'll probably go back to the Drunk Elephant one. And then I'm just trying to use this up. You don't have to have this in your routine. I say you don't have to have it. I like facial mist, facial sprays. So I like to do facial sprays over my makeup to rehydrate my skin throughout the day if my skin feels tight or dry. Now, you can use any type of one that you want, but I'm just trying to use this one up. It is the Hydrate Hyaluronic Acid and Vitamin B Facial Mist. I got this at TJ Maxx. It's not great. I wouldn't repurchase that. I'm just trying to go through that. Just to give a little bit extra hydration at night. Then I have my anti-aging night cream. So this is the Elemis Superfood Night Cream. It is a prebiotic night cream. And I got this from the BoxyCharm skincare box, I want to say. This one, I'm not a huge fan of it. I know Elemis products are very expensive and everyone really likes them, but this one is supposed to be the nighttime cream, and it has added fragrance. So it has lavender in there. And the very first time I used this, it literally made me nauseous because it was such a terrible smell. Now I've gotten used to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. It just smells like plain lavender, but I wouldn't repurchase it for that purpose alone. And then, like I said, you always want to use an eye cream. So what I would suggest is just finding one that works for you and sticking with it. As far as then you can just use it morning and night. And I just have a whole bunch of samples that I just need to go through. So that's why I'm having 2 different ones. I'm still trying to find my favorite one. So this is the Mary Kay Time Wise Firming Eye Cream. This one's fine. It does have more of the firming, brightening lines, all that kind of stuff in there. So this would be like a better one than this like Clinique one, the Pep Start one, for like both a day and nighttime. You just gotta have something on there. And then finally, you want to lock all of it in, like I said, with a moisturizer. This is the Mary Kay Time Wise like anti-aging moisturizer, and at nighttime, instead of just using a moisturizer, I like to add an oil into there. So some people will use moisturizer and then an oil, or you can just use their moisturizer and add a few drops of an oil into there for extra hydration. So that's what I do. And this is, and I know I'm gonna butcher this, this is the Nikeo Maracuja and Yangu Soothing Oil. And this one is fine. I've used a pretty good, it's got a little dropper as you can see, but I've used a pretty good amount of it. So I'm just using that in my moisturizer. I used to use it separate, but I'm just using that so that it absorbs a little faster so I can go to sleep faster. But if I'm really dealing with problems, dryness, I will just use this by itself. And then you want to make sure that you are taking care of your lips as well. So I like to use as my, like, I guess, I don't want to say last one because I still have another one, but as one of my last steps, I like to put the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask on. This is awesome. It's the only balm or sleeping mask that I've actually seen a difference with. So, use this, the By Beauty Lip Agave Mask, any type of moisturizer at night if you have really dry lips like I do. And then my last step is some type of lotion. I like to use, if I'm using it on my arms, then I'll use just any type of lotion. This one's in my Project Pan right now. Or when, especially during winter, my hands get really dry because I have to wash my hands at work probably at least 30 to 50 times. Or that's usually what I wash my hands that much because I'm constantly, you know, in the healthcare field. So I like to use an actual body cream or body butter. This one is, I want to say this is, it doesn't say, I think this is Bath and Body Works. Who knows? It is the Breathe the Romance 24/7 Ultimate Moisture Body Cream. And it is really thick and really kind of, you know, seeps in and really hydrates your hands. So one other thing I'd like to mention is mask. So you can use mask to, if you feel like your skin is really dull, you can use a vitamin C mask. Or if you need extra hydration, you can use a moisture renewing mask. Or if you're wanting to unclog your pores, you can use a charcoal mask. So there's also lots of masks that are on the market that help with any type of singular, you know, problem that you have. Sheet mask, I'm not a huge fan of sheet mask. I can't like sit there with the thing on my face like, oh my god, for 20 minutes, I don't know what I want to do. So I'm not a huge fan of masks. I'm trying to get better at them. Like putting them in my, you know, Project Pans just so that I can use them up. But I probably wouldn't repurchase a mask just to like have in my collection unless it's like a hydrating mask. The takeaway for nighttime, if you want to make sure you are cleansing your face, whether it is the real way with the double cleanse or if it is the lazy version like me, cleanse your face. You want to use at least some type of HA, BHA, whether it's a peel, a nightly, or like a twice a week, or if it's a once a week type of thing. Some type of anti-aging product. So any type of night cream, serum, like The Ordinary has one that's like a buffet that I haven't tried that one, but it's like a all-in-one. Any type of all-in-one anti-aging serum is good. If you don't have time to use a night cream, which I do suggest, then you can always, if it doesn't irritate you, you can bring it up really close to your eyes. I don't do that. I use a night cream. Some people do that. And then you always want to lock it in with some type of moisturizer. So that is my skincare routine. It may seem like a lot to some. It may not seem like enough for some people. I know, like, I always, when people say, that's a lot of skincare that you use, I'm always like, well, the Korean skincare is like a 12-step process. So this is only like 6 or so. Anyways, that's what I tell myself. I get a whole bunch of samples, so I just try a lot of things, and I'm still in the process of trying to find my perfect things for every single section. But these are just what I'm currently using right now. Once I do get to a more normal routine, I've found those products that I really love, then I'll come back and do like an updated skincare routine. This was just more like a skincare 101, what you need to use, what you don't, order, whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed being something a little bit different, you know, not just, you know, makeup. We're doing some skincare in here too. But if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.